Kalen DeBoer, the new man in command in Tuscaloosa, is now making waves when it comes to building a coaching staff that should make Alabama still a viable threat to win the SEC and make the college football playoff on the regular. Ryan Grubb's going to be his offensive coordinator. That's a match made in heaven given their relationship. And most the same offensive personnel that just led the Huskies to a national title appearance will also call Titletown home. But a lot of people were wondering what was going to be the move on defense. Who's going to be calling the shots in place of Kevin Steele? And DeBoer gave us an answer on Monday night when it was announced that Kane Wommack will be leaving Mobile and South Alabama to now be running the show in Tuscaloosa. Is this a smart hire? What could this defense look like underneath Wommack? And more importantly, what does this do for the future of Alabama football? Let's talk about that and much, much more. But if you are new here, well, welcome on into the channel, people. My name is Cole Thompson. I'm a radio show host based in Houston, and I talk college football daily. Simply because the clock has struck 0 on 2023 does not mean we're going from 100 to 0 and making content. We have live shows coming up starting this week. We got a banner. We'll be recapping 2023, a look ahead at 2024, news going on in the head coaching circuits, the transfer portal, and a bunch of other nonsense. So if this is the daily fix you need to survive college football off seasons, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. Leave a comment telling me your thoughts on Wommack's hire now in Tuscaloosa. Tell your friends, your family, your mortal enemies, your best of bros, Alabama fans, and college football aficionados everywhere about this channel, because we are on the race to become the #1 YouTube show talking college football daily. Go ahead and subscribe to me on every social media platform. I call it Twitter. You call it X. We all call it Instagram, at Mr. Cole Thompson. That way, conversations surrounding our favorite sport never have to stop flowing. Kane Wommack is a really good hire. And let's just get this out of the way. It's Wommack. It's just like saying hammock. Muck. It's not mock. It's muck. So, Kane Wommack is a really smart hire. And the way that I view this in the grand scheme of things for Kalen DeBoer, this is like having your cake and eating it too. You make a hire that you trust, but you also are bringing in a name that is going to draw rave reviews among those in the SEC circles. Wommack is not a guy that simply hitched his wagon to Tom Allen in Indiana and then eventually got his shot to call the plays down in Mobile with the Jaguars. No, this is a Southern understanding coach that has been around the block. He did spend time in the Big Ten, but he also spent time in the SEC. He's from the state of Missouri. He played at Arkansas. He played at Southern Miss. He worked underneath Hugh Freeze, if I'm not mistaken, at Ole Miss. He's also worked at South Alabama before, Jacksonville State. He understands the Southern region and also the hotbeds and destinations when it comes to recruiting styles. And this is a coach that has a relationship with DeBoer. And part of the reason why he decided to make the switch from being the leader of a program to now just calling defensive plays down in Tuscaloosa is because of that relationship. And we'll get to that in a moment. But when it comes to evaluating talent, if you talk to anybody in small college football circles, they'll tell you that there are few and fine in between that match the persona of Wommack. This is a guy that understands what a player's upside is, what his strengths are, what his weaknesses are, and how to hone in on the positives and make the negatives a thing of the past. That's one of the best things that what you can add for in the state of Alabama. A guy who knows what you're getting. And when you're able to evaluate talent at that type of level, you're not worried about adding in 3 stars and 2 stars, because Alabama, with the script day and the yellow and blue logo, that means it just means more, is going to sell itself for a ton of talent. And then proof of concept is also going to carry a lot of weight when it comes to stabilizing this roster for the foreseeable future. It's going to be a new defensive look. Kane Wommack runs a lot of 4-2-5s, not a 3-4 that we're used to seeing in Tuscaloosa, but maybe that's a good thing. Maybe you want to have a little bit more of a pass rush generating up front. Maybe you want to play better in coverage where you know your nickel defender is going to have to be a bit more aggressive. Maybe those are things that you're looking at. But the bottom line is that Kalen DeBoer has always been a coach that's done more with less. And Kane Wommack kind of follows that same mantra. The last 3 years, he has had a top 30 defense on 3 of the 4 times. Not to mention, he also had a better defense than Alabama last year. Alabama ranked 17th in total yards allowed. South Alabama ranked 15th. And I'm not going to go with the mathematician jokes here. What I'm going to say is that if you have a top 15 defense in college football, you understand exactly what you're doing. And that's ultimately what you're looking for in Tuscaloosa. The relationship factor is huge for a guy like DeBoer because you don't always know if you can trust the person leading your team if you don't have a good working balance with them. When you understand the way they recruit, the way they coach, the way they talk to players, the way that they understand how to build those long lasting relationships, you kind of are allowed to take that step back and focus in on the little details or the bigger problems that reside within a program. And for a guy like DeBoer in year one, with a lot of change coming to Tuscaloosa, him implementing his own element that will make Alabama still a viable threat for years on end, having a guy that you can trust is the biggest blessing of all. That's why Ryan Grubb makes so much sense for being the offensive coordinator. It's why, even though a lot of people are hesitant seeing what the Huskies did in the Pac-12, knowing that that coaching staff was able to work wonders and win 5 ranked matchups is a blessing in disguise. And the same thing goes for Wommack. Guy understands how to recruit talent. Guy understands how to mold talent, and guy has worked with more than less and gotten the same type of results. Indiana in 2020 had the number 12 ranked defense. I don't really care that it was a COVID-19 season. That's special for the folks in Bloomington. So now that you're adding that into Tuscaloosa, you're in a really, really good spot. Now, a lot of people are probably going to say, well, Cole, why is this such a good hire? You talk about this like it is just a slam dunk A-plus move. Because it is. It truly is. If you talk to people who understand college football as well as I do, if not better than I do, guess what they're going to say? Alabama could not get much better than what they're adding in right now in terms of winning culture and in terms of personnel looking. And that's what Kane Wommack does, and that's what Kalen DeBoer does. The thing is that you don't need to always come from one side of town to be able to build relationships. Perfect example. You and your friends come from all across this country. Me and my friends come from all across this country. Some of the best people that I work with in this industry are from Georgia. I have friends from California. I have 2 friends from Nashville. I have a friend from Alabama. One of my best friends still lives out in the middle of South Carolina. I have relationships all across this great state. And if I have these working relationships and I want to build something promising, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to call the people that I know are going to make me that much better. You don't need to reside in certain parts of the country to understand what the end goal is. We're here to win championships, and we're here to make sure that we carry on the tradition of exceptional Alabama football. DeBoer gets that. He doesn't need to be from Alabama to understand what Alabama football is all about. And the same thing goes for Ryan Grubb, and the same thing goes for Kane Wommack. If they understand what it means to be successful in college football, and they understand what the pedigree of Alabama is, who cares if they grew up in Bumbleskunk, Alaska, for that matter? If they're good at their job, they deserve a shot. And that's exactly what you're getting right now with a guy like Wommack coming over. This is going to be a really intriguing move also for the future of coaching, in my opinion. Not because I don't think that Wommack won't eventually become a Power 5 head coach, because he was on the trajectory going into year 4 with the Jaguars. Last season led the team to a Sun Belt Conference title appearance, and this year kind of took a step back after getting that monumental win over Oklahoma State on the road. I might also add in Stillwater. But now you've seen 2 coaches from the group of 5 level, head coaches, leave their post to become coordinators at a Power 5 school. Last year, Sean Lewis decided to leave Kent State. He goes hitch his wagon with a guy like Deion Sanders, and now he's calling shots at San Diego State. The ultimate end goal was probably for Sean Lewis to get to a school like a Power 5 institution, even if it was a low-tier Power 5 institution. But instead, he goes to arguably one of the best group of 5 schools in the country, one that consistently is getting linked to a potential expansion for Power 5 growth. So it wasn't the exact lateral move that he wanted, but it was a move that ended up getting him closer to, I would say, a Power 5 job. Is this the new norm? If Kane Wommack does wonders down in Tuscaloosa this year, does he get offered an opportunity to coach somewhere in the SEC or somewhere in the Big 12 or somewhere in the ACC for 2025? And if that's the case, well, how many more group of 5 coaches are we seeing now going to say, I have a better shot of making it to my end goal, running my program at a Power 5 elite level by going ahead and humbling myself and being on a staff rather than running my own program? It's a move that's really interesting, but I do think that at the end of the day, Kalen DeBoer is getting everything that he needs to be successful in year 1. Trust with the offense, trust with the defense, the ability to create his own identity down in Tuscaloosa. And if that identity is as strong as it was in Seattle, guess what? Alabama's not going away anytime soon. In fact, they're only building for it. A+ hire by a guy like DeBoer to go ahead and get Wommack. And I promise you, SEC coaches right now, they're not sitting here and saying they got the guy from South Alabama. No. Here's what they're actually saying. They got the guy from South Alabama. They got the guy from South Alabama. Crap. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching that video. Don't hit the X button yet. Make sure you hit subscribe to keep up with all of our daily content found on Just Saying It and anything else that we post on this channel. Bye.